All right, Victor, so what we saw starting today, the swing in a lot of ways looked pretty good. It was a little long there with the length of your backswing. But like we worked on the last time or two, I want you to get that club head more in the plane line. Better. Now watch this. This is exactly what you just asked about, Jim. Kind of the slow motion thing of what's kind of going on down there around impact. If you've been There we go. See, your club path has been kind of outside in is what it's called, where you're swinging above that plane line and the face has tended to be open. And so that ball tends to start left of the target line, right? And tends to kind of slice back to the middle at times. So the first thing I asked you to do was swing in to out, which is feeling to you like you're going way to the woods, right? And see the ball starts to the right of the target line. Okay? And it kind of stayed over there for a lot of the shots. But then the second little piece of medicine I gave you to do was to swing in to out, swing toward the woods out to the right, but then close the face at impact better. See what I mean? So it's actually squared up there. Then it starts to the right real strong, but has some hook spin on it and draws back to the middle. That's what we want. That's the shot you want to have for probably at least 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years. Okay? Like that. And you see how that's opposite of outside in club path and an open impact angle with your face. So that's why it's going to feel kind of different to you, because it is. It's diametrically opposed to it. Instead of swinging outside in, you're swinging inside out. Instead of swinging to the left of your target line, you're actually swinging to the right of your target line. And instead of leaving the face open, you're closing the face earlier with your hands. Okay? And so that's exactly what we saw here today. There we go. That's much better. Than that. The new blue as always. And you saw with the hybrid, especially you saw when you got to that hybrid that you got it more toward the sweet spot of the toe. That was a little too much above it there. There's a good one with the blue line. Yeah. You see how that's on the plane line with that hybrid. The second or third swing with that hybrid. The first swing, see, you're a little too much above it, and you're going to catch it toward the heel. Remember, that ball went relatively straight. You see, that ball went relatively straight, but it didn't really start to the right like we want it to, because it wasn't on that blue line like it was over here in this nice blue line better. And you came into it more with the sweet spot right there instead of the heel. And that's why they'll feel more solid and go farther. See, that ball jumped out of there, it got out of there faster, and it started more to the right. Instead, this one started straight or left. That is absolutely what you're after there, Victor. Here's another one. Yep, closer and closer. The ball's starting out to the right a little more. And then this one. Yep, pretty close and right around the sweet spot again. That is absolutely what you're after there, buddy. And again, to you, it feels like you're swinging way to the right toward these woods. Out to the right of our spot here, over there, but you're actually swinging about straight on the video. All right? And do that with all the clubs. You want to feel that with all the clubs. Like those tour players I showed you there, right? Look at Ernie Els. See, he's coming down that line to the top of his left shoulder, just like any other tour player I would show you. Whether it's a driver or an iron, a long iron or a short iron or a hybrid, whatever it is, they're coming right down that line and through the top of their left shoulder and their follow through. Right there. All right. All righty, man. That's all I'd give you for today. Just keep working on that same good feel. Okay? And you can get used to it sometimes in just a couple days. Hit a lot of balls with a practice lot, you should be pretty used to it. And then Thursday is the first day of the tournament. So that should be pretty neat. Now down there, the other thing I'd want you to do, try to really understand how far your shorter clubs go, because the first 2 rounds are at Reeves, so you're just playing the par 3. You know, and you've played that par 3 a lot, haven't you? Yeah. So you kind of know the course down there. You kind of know which clubs will probably work for you. Now it's getting hotter and drier, so it's probably going to bounce some. You know, so you could probably hit it more, a little shorter club maybe toward in front of the green and it'll bounce on. And then the most important thing from there, right, is get down in 2 shots. Wherever your approach ends up, remember golf success for an approach is to leave a putter or chip for your next shot. So leave that putter chip for your next shot and then hit that first one perfect distance and you'll tap in for your par. Right? That's what you're doing on your better holes. So, and you can do that both 9s, they're both days at Reeves, I think, pretty well. You know, and again, like you know, like you learned yesterday at Newman, it's a little trickier because the green has so much slope to it. At Reeves, they're pretty flat. But the main thing at the Reeves is leave it towards the front of the green where you can be going uphill to the hole. It's easier to hit the perfect distance when you're going uphill than when you're going downhill. All right? All right, man. I look forward to seeing you down there. It should be pretty neat.